what you're going to find out that is real returns about 6.5%, not 12. So I looked at the guy to my left. His name was Brad. I said, Brad, I'd like you to take that drop down with your finger and change that 12 to a 7. It's 1.1 million. He sat back in his chair and he goes, oh my God. And he grabs the iPad from me and he shows it around the crowd. And I start hearing, he's a liar. Why, that ain't real. How can that be? Well, he didn't tell us
in the room?
Oh, no. Okay. This was a video session.
Okay.
But the people were pissed. And I didn't say anymore. I didn't say another word. I just said, things aren't always what you perceive. And I thought Dave Ramsey might have done that on purpose. But I've come to believe later that Dave Ramsey and his vigor and his zealousness to be right and create the contrast, he missed it when he's talking about the 12% because he doesn't understand the difference. He's not an advisor. He's not an analytic. He just went out and said, what's the S&P do? And it's 12%. But he didn't understand you got to convert that to what you get in a real life environment. And he didn't understand the difference between nominal returns and real returns. So he's in full belief pressing some information that's wrong as though it's right. And all these people get harmed because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah, he has plenty of clips where he pushes back on the 4% rule. And he does things like, hey, if you're earning 12%, you should safely be able to take out 7, 8, 9%. And I think he knows better, but I also think I'm going to play devil's advocate for him. He's in the hope business, and he genuinely believes if he teaches 3.5%, 4% safe withdrawal distribution, it's going to be so depressing that someone might just be like, what's the point?
Well,
that's not right to not share the most accurate stuff. But I honestly believe, like, I think he said this to one of his co-hosts where it's like, 4% is so depressing that it's going to get people to not want to save money.
Yeah.
And there's a point to that, but then also we don't have to be at 4% if we know some of the strategies. The irony is the same things that he hates upon, life insurance, annuities, and others, those are the things that you utilize in a plan that bump up greater than 4%. So it's a little bit ironic, isn't it? That he's like, on one side, he's acknowledging that the 4% rule is a problem, but yet the same products that would help, he believes is a scam.
Well, when I took the Sunday school class course at the time, he was advocating A-share mutual funds. I don't know if he still does, so I don't want to proclaim that I know this. But it took me a while to figure out, why would anybody promote A-share mutual funds? Well, until I realized, I got a recruiter call from Dave Ramsey one day, and I realized they were getting $5,000, $6,000 a year to promote advisors willing to pay the fee. And they realized that for an advisor to want to pay their fee to be promoted by Ramsey on their website, they wanted to sell A-share mutual funds. This is an earlier day. And it's the only reason why they were promoting the A-share mutual funds. But it was an example of how conflict, even in Dave Ramsey's material, drove the tail was wagging the dog, right? The tail was wagging the dog. And so he comes across as though I'm the most ethical, I'm the most upright, I'm the most holy of the holies. And yet I find little cracks and windows within what he says and what he does that represents the opposite of what he proclaims in some cases.
Yes. Are you familiar with the White Coat Investor?
Yes.
What's your initial thoughts on his blogs? He hates whole life insurance. I'm not sure his stance on annuities, but what's your take on just what he teaches?
He's isolating the analytics for his own benefit because he's got to hair up himself about life insurance.
Okay.
And I just think that, Rockefeller was mentioned on stage yesterday by the Legacy fellow, right?
Yes, Garrett Gunderson.
And I went to Garrett and I talked to him. I actually was doing business with David Rockefeller, the final siblings of the Rockefeller family. He had a personal assistant and he had a chauffeur. And the personal assistant and the chauffeur were a married couple. And they had me meet at the Rockefeller Library, the mansion, the Rockefeller's mansion, New York. And the library, we did all the applications where they bought income, chased alpha. And they buy lots of life insurance. And what I would argue to anybody that dismisses life insurance, wealthiest, highest tax-paying people in America biggest corporations buy life insurance. How could somebody that dismisses life insurance ball and glove, like there's never a time it's worthy of your consideration, how can that be true? And so many bright, educated, and wealthy people who have the best minds as accounting and legal analytics working for them, and all this life insurance is sold.